What's up YouTube, this is Dragon and this is another Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. So let's get to the battle at hand. Well, I'm going to say that on this team, the Pokemon that I fear the most is between the Aegislash and the Mega Fairy type that's on the bottom right. And I can't believe Mega Altaria. That's the Mega Altaria. Because the Mega Altaria, yeah, once that threat is down, then I have pretty much no worries. But I have a Moongus to counter that Pokemon, so it's not that big of an issue. Okay, so he's going to intimidate me. That's obviously going to do nothing. And now I'm kind of debating on whether I would Toxic this Pokemon or put it to sleep. Let's see, should I go for Toxic or Sleep? And if I do put it to sleep, what would I have to worry about? Let's see. I'm going to put this Pokemon to sleep because heck, why not? I have nothing to lose, so why not? And again, if I Toxic this Pokemon can't really do that much to me, because then I could also go to Rotom. But I also want to conserve the health of my Rotom. You know what? I'm going to put it to sleep, because he might switch. Who knows? Ah, son of a kitten. Alright, well, it doesn't matter, because he taunted me, so I'm now in this particular predicament. And he used taunt, so that's indicative of something a little bit more sinister. Wait a minute! It is indicative of something a bit more sinister, because that means he is probably going to switch. And let's see, if I were my opponent, I would use I would probably switch now or use Ice Fang or something like that. So I'm going to go to my Rotom just in case, because I feel this is like a switchy moment. I don't know. And even if he, doesn't switch, or maybe he just does whatever he does and Mega Evolves. Okay, T-Wave. See? I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. It was too weird. It was way too weird. And I was like, no. No, this is like one of those type of weird sets. Alright, so I blocked the T-Wave. Now let's see. If I were my opponent, what would I do? I would probably switch into Rhydon. So if my opponent switches into you know what though? With that, I'm gonna go for the Will-O-Wisp. Wait, why am I? No, he's not gonna stay in. He's not gonna stay in. No, that's crazy. Obviously, he's gonna predict Thunderbolt, right? So, okay, he goes for the Altaria. There we go. I got the Will-O-Wisp. It's not as good as Toxic, because Toxic would, make sure that if it has Roost or anything, it definitely dies. But it burns it if it's a physical set. So there we go. Don't have to worry about that. No Dragon Dancing for you. No Dragon Dancing for you. All right. So with that, I think this would be a great opportunity for me to send out my Mega Slowbro, because this Pokemon essentially can't really do anything to me anymore. Unless it's one of those weird special sets, which I kind of doubt. So let's see. From here, I'm going to now go into my Slowbro. Alright. And my opponent withdraws. Natural Cure. Natural Cure, you son of a kitten. Alright, so let's see. Alright. Huh. Let's see, ironically, I was gonna kind of stay, but okay, so from here, I'm gonna go for, I'm gonna go for the straight up Scald, because I have Regenerate, so I don't necessarily want to put myself in a predicament where I can't recover. So I'm gonna go for the Scald straight up. And my opponent uses Swords Dance. Alright, so now I'm really hoping that this Scald goes for the burn. I really hope it does. And no, it does not. That's not cool. But seeing that it is using Swords Dance, I'm now going to Mega Evolve, because if it does have Shadow Ball, go ahead and use it at this point. Okay, so I'm going to Mega Evolve, and he could be mixed. We never know. Mega Evolve, and I'm going to go for the Scald, and I don't think there's any physical attacks that can be done that would hit Slowbro's. Oh, okay, all right, cool. Cool, cool. That's cool. So, okay, Sacred Sword. What? Communication with... Really? Communication with trainer interrupted. That really sucks. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Alright. Good, so that's not my internet. Alright, so we'll continue battling. Alright, and to the battle box. Let's see. Yes, now we will initiate the challenge. Alright, so yeah, that was really unfortunate. So my opponent decided to, I guess, have a disconnection and quit. I don't know. But I guess my opponent was just like, hey, you know, like, I can't really do anything with this team, so, you know, what can I do? Alright, so let me print that screen real quick. And let's see. Who would be good for this team? Let's see, I'm going to keep an eye out on that shapeshifter down on the bottom left. The Zorok. Alright, so let's see. Okay. You know what? I'm going to start off with Charizard. Charizard can do a lot of damage to this team. And let's see, we're also going to have Rotom. Rotom could also do a lot of damage to this team. And let's see, Conkeldurr. Yeah, Conkeldurr could do a lot to this team too. I might start off with Conkeldurr because that's like a balanced starting position. So you know what? Withdraw, Charizard, yeah. Conkeldurr would be a much better starting Pokemon. Just in case my opponent decides to start off with the Zorok, which a lot of people like to do for some reason. Alright, and I printed the screen, so let's get to the battle. Alright, so let's see, Landon. Let's see what you can give us today. Alright, I'm kind of hoping my opponent goes for the Zorok first because that would make it much easier for me because I could just go straight for the Drain Punch and that'll just be like, you know? Also, it'll scare my opponent away. So let's see, the Volcarona. Okay, this is the Volcarona. So with that, I'm going to go for the Stone Edge because the Stone Edge will be, the Stone Edge will do a lot of damage to this Pokemon. So let's see. Stone Edge it is, and extrasensory. So I have a feeling that this is not who we think it is. And Stone Edge connects, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, it is definitely the Zorok. Definitely the Zorok. So my opponent definitely has a Volcarona on their team. And now I'm gonna go for the Mop Punch because, yes, because I can. Alright, so that's going to be the end of that Pokemon. You know, I kind of had a feeling that this was the Zorok immediately, but I was thinking, like, does Zorok get any, like, psychic abilities? And I guess it gets extrasensory. I don't know who really puts extrasensory on this Pokemon. That's kind of weird. Never really seen anything like that before. But, you know, everybody has their own way of doing things, I suppose. Okay, so now because I know my opponent has the whatchamacallit on their team, I'm definitely going to switch immediately, and I'm going to go straight into my Rotom. Yes, I am. I'm gonna go straight into my Rotom because my opponent can't really do much to my opponent. Yeah, like, is he gonna go for Scald? Yeah, go ahead, Scald. You know, I just hope I don't get burned, because I don't want to get burned just yet. Alright, no burns. No burns. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, so now I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt. And that's going to do a ton of damage. And I know you have Volcarona on your team, so, you know, you can't play that game. And that Thunderbolt does not do enough to kill. Wow, I'm actually pretty shocked. Alright. So my opponent goes for the Toxic. Skull. You know what? You know what? Let's see. Volcarona, right? Alright, I'm gonna go for... I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna switch here because even if my opponent decides to go for the... I have a feeling my opponent might go for the Wish Protect because that makes the most sense. So I'm gonna go switch it to my Charizard, and I'll be able to go for a Solar Beam from here and also resist the Scald after the Sunny Day. So I'm predicting a Protect, and there we go. Of course the Protect is going to fail because I just switched. Alright, so now what we can do from here is Mega Evolve and go for the Solar Beam. Alright, there we go. Mega Charizard. Why? Getting ready to put in some work. And yes, as you can see here, this is why I'm happy that I chose to have Mega Charizard come out a little bit later in the battle. Because if we sent him out just right off the bat, he would have taken unnecessary damage from the Zoroark, and that would not have been great for us. So, this Solar Beam may not KO this Vaporeon, but it will definitely do tons of damage. My opponent goes for the Scald instead of the Toxic, and that's going to be negated by the Sunlight, which is of course good for us. And now I'm going to go for another Solar Beam, and if my opponent decides to switch straight into the Volcarona, do I have a surprise for him? Alright, so that's a Solar Beam, and that's going to immediately knock out this Vaporeon right out of the park, right out of the board game, right out of the ball game, and that's it. That Vaporeon is now evaporated into the vapors of what it once was. So now our opponent is going to send out the Volcarona, and I know my opponent is not going to expect what's going to happen right now. I'm going to take it back to the old times, to BC, ancient power, baby. Oh yeah, you already know. And is that a Focus Sash? That is a Focus Sash. But I am not worried. Oh, Weakness Policy. That is not a Focus Sash at all. Fury Dance. But, you know, you can play that game if you want. And this is exactly why. Oh, wait. Fury Dance. That's just regular Fury Dance. Okay. But damn. Damn. That freaking killed. Oh, in the sunlight, of course. It kills Charizard in the sunlight. Okay. But, I'm not worried about that. Because I have my ace in the hole, the Conkeldurr. And this is why, no matter what anyone tells me, I will never, ever, 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 ever delete Mach Punch. It is too necessary to have priority on your team for moments like this, in which a Volcarona could just dance all over your life. And right there, folks, made it an amazing game. And that was a good game. Well, I have to say that turned out quite nicely, and I really did enjoy those battles. I really did. The first one, it could have been a little bit better, obviously, and communication with the other trainer was interrupted, but it's too late because I've already beaten my opponent. But nonetheless, yes, as I was saying, that was an amazing game, and the first one could have been better, but the second one was definitely much better. I believe I chose the correct Pokemon that would directly counter my opponent. Also, the plays that I made, the predicting of the Protects, yes, that turned out to be really nice. And I'm really glad that I hit that Stone Edge, because if I didn't, I would have been a little bit upset. I would have went for the Drain Punch afterwards because I would have predicted that it was, so maybe it wouldn't have mattered. You know, but Extra Sensory does have a chance to flinch you, so I think it's like a 30% chance to flinch, or maybe it's 10 or 20%, I don't know. But it has a chance to flinch, and that is not cool. Not cool at all. But it turned out to be completely in our favor nonetheless, and I'm definitely happy about that. Well, I'm glad that you guys enjoy these battles, and my fellow Dragonites, as you know, there will be many more battles like these in the future. Well, see you later.